Yes, I'm live now. Welcome once again to another new video. This is Santu Sahu and you are watching Sahu's tutorial. Good evening everyone. Do join quickly. And how are you all? I hope that you are all well by the grace of Almighty and you must be sailing in the sea of life by the grace of Almighty. Here I am to begin this mock test series for the upcoming UGC NET exam and WBCET exam as well. Do join quickly. Good evening everyone. Yes. Good evening. Good evening. Okay. And let me tell you, this session is going to a very fantastic session. So we'll be covering the world classic. Yeah, I'm also fine here. I'm also fine here. We'll be covering the world classics here. Do yes. And here, let me share this link again in my Telegram channel. We'll be covering 50 important MCQ questions. Just to wait. Let join the others. Yes, Priyanka. Good evening, everyone. Subhranshu. Good evening, everyone. Those who are joining, yeah, this is going to be a fantastic session. I am telling you, this is going to be a fantastic session. So watch this session till the end. Okay. Good evening, Sujit. Yeah. How are you all? Priyanka, Sujit, and other Subramshu I have also. Good evening, everyone. Okay. We'll be covering 50 important MCQs. Have you all joined? Okay. Fine, fine. I'm also fine here. Okay. So without wasting your time, let's get started. And I think everything is okay. I'm audible and the video quality is also okay. And here the PDF is also visible to everyone. The PDF is also visible. Is it? Yes. Okay. Chalo. So I have already launched my course on UGC NET English Literature exam for the upcoming UGC NET December 2023 जो exam आने वाला है. For that course I have already launched my. Okay, thank you. For that exam I have already launched my course. You can join the course and you can. What happened right now? Okay. Chalo. So you can start it. You can contact me by this number. Okay, chalo. Let's get started with this question number 1. And here is the first question on your screen. Do answer. In which country is the majority of the novel The Now Where Man set? In which country the majority of the novel The Now Where Man set? And this is a novel. Any guess who has written? This is an Indian classic novel written by which female Indian novelist? Which female Indian novelist has written The Now Where Man? And this novel has the majority of its setting in which setting? India, England, United States. Okay. Now Where Man, it's a novel by Kamala Markandeya. Exactly. It's by Kamala Markandeya. Kamala Markandeya has written Now Where Man. What are the other novels of Kamala Markandeya's? What are the other novels of Kamala Markandeya's? The first important is Nectar in Sea. Okay. Nectar Sheep. Then A Silence of DJ, The Coffer Depths, The Coffer Depths, A Silence of DJ, A Silence of DJ. These are important novels by Kamala Markandeya. Okay, Nectar in Sea, The Coffer Dam, Silence of DJ. These are important novels. written by Kamala Markandeya. Even he has also written the another important novel is A Handful of Rice. A Handful of Rice. So this novel, A Nowhere Man, is set in England. Here B is the right answer. So Kamala Markandeya, Indian novelist, has written the novels like exactly. So A Handful of Rice, Nectar in Sea, The Copper Dams, A Silence of Desire. These are important. Even The Golden Honeycomb. Another novel is The Golden Honeycomb. Okay, where Bajirao appears as a golden honeycomb. Golden Honeycomb. These are important novels by whom? By Kamala Markandeya. Nectar in Sea, Copper Dams, Silence of Desire, The Golden Honeycomb, and A Handful of Rice. And this Nowhere Man, this novel set in England. Okay. What is the central theme of the novel The Nowhere Man? Love and relationships, immigration and cultural identity, business, success, academic achievement. Okay. Try to answer and comment in the write it down in the comment box actually. What is the central theme of the novel The Nowhere Man? And here, in somewhat, Kamala Markandeya is also a kind of diaspora writer. Not all her novels can be called diaspora writing, but some of the novel can be called diaspora actually. Exactly. And let me see how many of you are able to answer these questions very clearly. Here the novel Nowhere Man is actually dealing with immigration and cultural identity. Exactly. So here B is the right answer. Immigration and cultural identity. Excellent. So here B is the right answer. Exactly. And I told earlier, I have also made a video on diaspora literature. So exactly, Priyanka, everybody writes Subhranshu, Chitra, Gorod, Priyanka, Saurabh, and everyone. Here immigration and cultural identity is the right answer. Okay, and I told that the theme of alienation, amalgamation of two culture, the native culture and the adopted lands culture. Always there is a kind of what search for identity. There is a feeling of nostalgic in a melancholic tone. The writer is writing about the homeland. Okay, so theme of alienation is also there. Theme of alienation, quest for his identity, nostalgic tone in a melancholic way they are writing. So these are elements of diaspora writers. So this novel, Nowhere Man, is dealing with immigration and cultural identity. It's a 1972 language novel by Kamala Markandeya. It's a seventh novel centered on the racism and experienced by an elderly Brahmin, Srinivas, who has lived in London for decades. Unlike her other novels, which were set mainly in India, The Nowhere Man is set in England. And when Markandeya herself had been living since 1948, the novel's main protagonist is Srinivas, is an elderly spice importer who has lived in South London for almost 50 years, surviving his wife and one of his two sons. In the Britain 1968, he now faces intensifying racism. Reminding of the slights he had once experienced as a university student in colonial India. Which literary award did the book Scholar Extraordinary win in 1971? Which literary award did the book Scholar Extraordinary win? The name of the book is Scholar Extraordinary. And this book won which prize in the year 1975? And you also tell me who has written this book. Nobel Prize in Literature, Pulitzer Prize in Literature, Sahitya Academy Award and Booker Prize. Scholar Extraordinary. Good evening everyone. Do like the session, share with your friends. Anushka, have you joined? Devarati, have you joined? Devarati, Anushka, Clemency. Exactly. Yeah. Excellent, Subhranshu. Excellent. This is by Neeraj Chaudhary. Scholar Extraordinary is a work by Neeraj Chaudhary. Okay. This is a work by Neeraj Chaudhary, and for this work, Neeraj Chaudhary was awarded with this prestigious award, that is Sahitya Academy Award in 1975. That's why here C is the right answer. Exactly, Priyanka, Saurabh, Subhranshu, excellent Subhranshu. It's C is the right answer. And here is the explanation that it's a biography of whom? It's a biography of Max Muller. Why this book is very important? Because this book is actually a biography of Max Muller written by Neeraj C. Chaudhary. Another question is that who has written the biography on Max Muller? It is the Indian writer Neeraj C. Chaudhary has written the biography of Max Muller. Write it down also this question actually. The book was written by Neeraj C. Chaudhary. In addition to detailing the life of Max Muller, Chaudhary also places in context the social and psychologist aspects of the era and handles Muller's action with that backdrop. And this book won the prestigious Sahitya Academy Award in the year 1975. Add this in your copy that it is a biography of change it, go to 480. 480 is the maximum. 480 is the maximum resolution of this video, probably. So who is the, go to change it, okay, go to change to 480 actually. So who is the subject of biography? That is the work called An Artist in Life by Nihar Ranjan Roy. Earlier even I have done also this question. Who is the subject of biography? What about Sucharita and Anindita? Who is the subject? Rao? Who is the subject of the biography? An Artist in Life by Nihar Ranjan Roy. Even earlier also I have discussed. Exactly, Subhranshu, excellent. This is a work by Nihar Ranjan Roy. That is an artist in life. This is actually a biography. These kind of questions are asked in UGC NET and even WBC exam as well. In every state exam and UGC NET, you will be getting this kind of question actually. Okay. Got it. Chalo. Here it's actually a biography on Rabindranath Tagore actually. Who is the subject of the biography? That is actually Rabindranath Tagore. Very important. These are very important aspects. An Artist in Life is a biography of Rabindranath Tagore, first published in 1967 by the University of Kerala. Okay. The book written by Nihar Ranjan Roy took 15 years to complete, to research and to publish this work. It took 15 years. The biography also presents a critical study of all Tagore's works. It almost took 15 years of planning for the author to come up with the first draft of the book that was published in University of Kerala in 1967. And for this work also, he got the prestigious award 1969 पे साहित्य अकादमी अवार्ड मिला था. So what happened? Nihar Ranjan Roy is getting the Sahitya Academy Award for his work An Artist in Life in the year 1969, whereas in 1965 it was 1975 it was Neeraj C. Chaudhary is getting the Sahitya Academy Award writing the biography on Max Muller, who translated the novel called Inside the Haveli into Gujarati as Haveli. This question is also important for Gujarati state as well as for CUT PG English literature exam because it's in translation studies mein hai. This kind of question are asked in CUT PG also, translation studies. Okay, who translated the novel Inside the Haveli into Gujarati as Havelini Andar. Options are Rama Mehta, Priya Adarkar, Anila Dutt, Mahatma Gandhi. It's a work, Saurabh, it's a work by Rama Mehta actually. He has not translated this work. Okay. Inside the Haveli is a work by Rama Mehta, but it was translated into Gujarati. The right option is Anila Dalal. Okay, it's Anila Dalal. This kind of question are asked in UGC NET exam actually. Okay, these are Anila Dalal. Anila Dalal has translated this work into Gujarati as Havelini Andar. Okay, its original author is Rama Mehta. Okay, its original author is Rama Mehta, whereas it was translated into Gujarati as by Havelina Andar as Havelina Andar by Anila Dalal. Inside the Haveli is an English language novel. It's an English language novel written by Rama Mehta. For this novel, Mehta has also conferred Sahitya Academy Award. Why this work is important? Because this novel also got Sahitya Academy Award in the year 1979. The story of the novel revolved around a young girl from Mumbai. She marries a son of a former Indian prince, and post-marriage, she relocates to Udaipur, Rajasthan. The novel was translated into Gujarati by Anila Dalal as Havelini Andar in the year 2003. That's why this question is important, because it's a part of translation studies. So CU to PG English literature exam, this question is very important. Who is the alleged inspiration for the character Kenneth Toomey in Earthly Powers by Anthony Burgess? There is a novel called Earthly Powers by Anthony Burgess. Okay, there is a character called Kenneth Toomey, and to create this character Kenneth Toomey, which character played the role of inspiration for Anthony Burgess' famous work Earthly Powers? Options: William Maurice Thackeray, Dickens, William Summer's mom, Harold Pinter. Do like the session as well. Join daily. I conduct live classes every day in the evening, starting from 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening actually. Stay tuned and enjoy the free sessions that I deliver in this channel, and let the channel spread to your friends as well. And I have already started my UGC NET English Literature batch, and even for the WBCET exam, if you want to join my crash course batch, you can WhatsApp me, and I'll be showing you the number. You can join the crash course batch. Watch this lesson till the end. It's going to be a very fantastic session. Very, very informative sessions, I'm telling you. This is actually a work. This is based on what? This is based on William Somerset Maugham. So I have even told and discussed this question earlier as well. It's William Somerset Maugham. Okay, I had even earlier discussed this question. That is William Somerset Maugham is the right answer. Anthony Burgess' Earthly Powers novel that is based on William Somerset Maugham. Here the character Kenneth Toomey is based on William Somerset Maugham. So here C is the right answer. It's not William Maurice Thackeray, Guru and Subram. So it's William Somerset Maugham is the right answer. And here Somerset Maugham has written which one? Of Human Bondage. Of Human Bondage is an important work written by William Somerset Maugham. Of Human Bondage. What is Priyanka and everyone? What is the opening sentence of Earthly Powers by Anthony Burgess? The famous opening line of this novel. It was a dark and stormy night, once upon a time in a faraway land, or it was the afternoon of my 81st birthday, and I was in bed with my catamite when Ali announced that the Archbishop had come to see me, or in a world of endless possibilities. The opening sentence of this novel Earthly Powers by Anthony Burgess. Very, very important opening line of this novel. You should have to know or remember or mark up this. The famous opening line, the sentence of this novel. And let me see how many of you are able to answer this question correctly. Okay, got one answer. Then what are the other views? It's not D actually. The famous opening sentence of this novel, Earthly Powers, is actually It was the afternoon of my 81st birthday. Okay, it was the afternoon of my 81st birthday. I was in bed with my catamite when Ali announced the Archbishop had come to see me. This is the opening line of this novel. And here you see that Earthly Powers is a panoramic saga novel of 20th century by Anthony Burgess, first published in 1980. And it begins with this outrageously provocative first sentence that it was the afternoon of my 81st birthday and I was in bed with my catamite when Ali announced that Archbishop had come to see me. Yeah, we had discussed earlier as well. On one level, it is the parody. In one level, it is a parody of a blockbuster novel with an 80-year-old hero, Kenneth Toomey, that is based on William Somerset Maugham. Kenneth Toomey, the character. Alistair Lewis was based on the British author William Somerset Maugham, telling the story of his life in 82 chapters. Okay. Who is the protagonist of this novel? The Conservationist. The Conservationist is a work by whom? And tell me who is the protagonist of this work? And for CUT aspirants, from tomorrow onwards, our live class will be started for the paid student. Exactly. It's Nadine Gordimer. Exactly. Fantastic. It's Nadine Gordimer. बीच बीच में ये क्या हो जाता है? चलो, it's Nadine Gordimer. Exactly. It's Nadine Gordimer famous work. Nadine Gordimer. Okay. Famous work is actually Conservationist. Here, Nadine Gordimer, the protagonist is actually Mehring. B is the right answer. Okay, Nadine Gordimer has written Conservationist. Here, the protagonist of this novel is actually Mehring. So B is the right answer. And here is the next question. So, no, it's Mehring is the right answer. How does Mehring justify his purchase of the farm to himself in the novel The Conservationist by Nadine Gordimer? How does Mehring justify his purchase of the farm to himself in the novel The Conservationist? The protagonist is Mehring. He wants to become a farmer and produce crops. He sees it as a tax deductible expense, or he plans to turn into nature reserve, or he intends to escape from his previous life. Okay. He buys a lot of farms, actually. Land. A huge amount of land. And how he is justifying? For this purchase of the farm to himself in the novel The Conservationist. Here, Mehring, the protagonist, has purchased like 400-acre land. Like, yeah, exactly. He sees it as a tax deductible expense. He justifying that. He sees it as a tax deductible expense. Okay. And here is the explanation. The Conservationist is a 1974 famous novel by the Afro-South African writer Nadine Gordimer. Exactly B. The book was a joint winner of the Booker Magnum Prize for Fiction, and it describes a more complex design and technique in Gordimer's early. Nadine Gordimer is a famous topic. Nadine Gordimer is a famous topic for education and action. In South Africa under apartheid, Mehring is a rich white businessman. Mehring is a rich white, yeah, you were right, actually B was the right answer. Okay, so here Mehring is a rich white businessman who is not satisfied with his life, and his ex-wife has gone to America. His liberal son is Terry, who is probably a gay, criticizes his conservative capitalist ways. That's why conservationist. Who is the titular conservationist? Here, the titular conservationist Mehring. The titular conservationist is the Mehring, and the son Terry, who is a probably gay, is criticizing his views of conservation and being a because he was a conservative and capitalist ways, things like that. And his lovers and colleagues do not actually seem interested in him. On a whim, he buys 400 acre. I told you, he buys on a whim 400 acre of farm outside the city. Afterwards, trying to explain this purchase to himself as a search for a higher meaning in life. But it is clear that he knows next to nothing about farming, but he had no idea. No, he had no idea about farming because he is a white businessman. But instead of that, he is buying 400 acre farm. That black, and he is running that farm by the black people, by the black farmer. That black workers run it. Mehring is simply an outsider, an intruder on the daily life of each farm. And his objective in buying the farm is to make a tax deductible expense. And here is the famous line: no farm is beautiful unless it is productive. No farm is beautiful unless it is productive, says Mehring in this novel Conservationist, the titular character. Okay. Plus, it is proper for his amorous escape. This land was a thing for his land was a thing of his race. He once visits his farm with his girlfriend Antonia. So Antonia that he talked about, Subhrangshu, Antonia is actually the girlfriend of Mehring. You talked about now. You answered Antonia actually the protagonist. Antonia is actually the girlfriend of Mehring. What is Subhrangshu? Sir. And here is another advertisement for my English literature crash course batch. It's available. You can join the batch. Actually, you want to join the batch, you can WhatsApp me in this number. Okay. Registration is open for all the additional aspirants and for WBCET actually. Check. And here is question number 10 on your screen. On Excatitude in Science is a short story written by which author? Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Julio Cortázar, George Luis Borges, Pablo Neruda. Gorod, are you there? Gorod. I don't know why this kind of things happens. बीच में ऐसा क्यों हो जाता है? चलो, this is a short story. This is a short story written by which author? Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Julio Cortázar, George Luis Borges, and Pablo Neruda. Exactly. It's George Luis Borges has written this short story called On Excatitude in Science. Here C is the got it. Subhrangshu and Gorod here. This one C is the right answer. On Excatitude in Science or on rigor in science. And in Spanish it is written as Del rigor en la ciencia. Is a one paragraph short story written in 1946 by George Luis Borges about the map territory relation, written in the form of literary poetry. This is work by George Luis Borges. Formalist critics believe that the value of a work cannot be determined by the author's intention. And what term do they use when speaking of this belief? Tell me the classroom students. Which idea they believed. And even in the paid class section I have discussed that how I. Richards was heavily influenced by the theory of impersonality in from the tradition and the individual talent, and the objective correlative from Hamlet and its problems. These two works had influenced I. Richards to propagate, to introduce practical criticism in Britain in 1920s. In 1920s, okay, it was developed. So one day what happened? One day what happened? Formalist critics. One day what happened? I. Richards gave a poetry to his students and asked them to analyze that poem without giving the authorial information, the context, the biographical information. And next day, when he came to the university and he asked them how have they analyzed, and when he sees that how the students have analyzed that poem, and he found that the students have analyzed the poem, everybody has their own ways of explaining or analyzing the poem. They have analyzed in a different manner because they were not aware of the biographical conditions, biographical information. And then he jotted down all these things. Actually, he jotted down all these things in a book, and he gave the name as practical criticism in 1929. So, practical criticism was actually a kind of formalist movement. It's a kind of formalist movement. Practical criticism, formalist, and new criticism, they are talking the same thing. New criticism is a part of formalist criticism. Okay, so in Britain it was known as practical criticism, but in 1949 it got a name by the publication of the work, that is new criticism, in 1941, that is by John Crow Wright. Here the question is that formalist critics believe that the value of a work cannot be determined by the author's intention. What term do they use when they're speaking of this belief? Okay, that is the intentional fellowship. The value of a work cannot be determined by the author's intention. Okay, author's intention, intentional fellowship. It can. So they were denying all those things. It's a kind of heresy. It's a kind of heresy. Fallacy actually. What event is believed to have influenced the title of the book, Goodbye to All That? It's an autobiography. It's an autobiography by Robert Graves. It's an autobiography. It's an autobiography, and this is how my classes are actually constructed for the classroom student. So this is actually an autobiography. Have you understood, Priyanka, Anindya, and everyone, what is about the new critics, formalist critics, and everything? It's an autobiography by Robert Graves. And even I will have done this question, Subramshu. Exactly, fantastic, everyone. Priyanka, Subramshu, and everyone. Excellent. This is actually no, it's not B actually. It's past world war. Yeah, we have done this question earlier actually. It's past world war. The aftermath of the first world war. Why this kind of problem happen every time? Here you see, this is an autobiography written by Robert Graves, and here is the explanation that Goodbye All to That is an autobiography by Robert Graves. First appeared in 1929 when the author was 13 years old. It was by bitter leave-taking of England. He wrote in a prologue to the revised section, and the title may also point to the passing of an old order following the cataclysm of the First World War. The supposed inadequacy of patriotism, the interest of some in atheism, feminism, socialism, and pessimism. Got it? This is World War One. Remember, goodbye to all that. By Robert Graves, an autobiography. Who wrote the essay, epic and novel, towards the methodology for the study of the novel? We have many fantastic questions left actually. Epic and novel towards a methodology for the study of the novel. This is an essay. An important critic. An important theorist. Exactly. Exactly. Well done. Well done. It's Mikhail Bakhtin. Mikhail Bakhtin has written this essay called Epic and Novel towards the methodology for the study of the novel. So here Mikhail Bakhtin is the writer. Very exactly, Priyanka. So Mikhail Bakhtin is the writer. Epic and Novel towards the methodology for the study of the novel is an essay written by Mikhail Bakhtin in 1941 that compares the novel to the epic. Here is the comparison between the novel between the novel and the epic. It was one of the major literary theories of the 20th century by Mikhail Bakhtin, epic and novel. Comparison between epic and novel. Here is the question, Priyanka. The New Hesperdes and the other poems, John Claude Angel, J. Spingern, I. Richards, W. E. B. Du Bois. Who has written this work, The New Hesperdes and other poems? Which book? Which book? Which book did you see yesterday? Talking about which book? Epic and novel. Exactly. I had sent the photo, isn't it, Priyanka, to you? It's Joe Springer. Exactly. That was actually a 1910 book. Okay. And here you see everyone remember that it was J.E. Springer for the first time has used the term. It's not coined. There's a basic difference. Okay. Used and coined. Everybody will answer like that. Okay. So used and the term use the term for the first time, new criticism. New criticism for the first time was used by Joe J.E. Springer. Okay, in his lectures. That is, sorry, it is not a lecture actually. Sorry, it's not a lecture. It's a collection of poems actually. Sorry, but it was J.E. Springer in 1910. In 1910, okay, he had used the term new criticism for the first time. But here, this was actually a collection of poetry. I overlooked it. It's a collection of poetry. It is also written by J. Springer. Okay, got it? So, who among the following is not sorry considered as classic reader response critic? Classic reader response critic. Norman Holland, Robert Payne Warren, Wolfgang Iyer, Rolla Barthes. Who is not a classic reader response critic? And now tell me from no there is okay no it is not written. Now also I am adding another question. Which critic is known as social reader response critic? Answer Priyanka. Which critic is known as social reader response critic? It's not Robert. How can it be Robert Penn Warren? Norman Holland, Wolfgang Iyer, Rolla Barth. They are all reader responsibility. It's not Robert Penn Warren. Robert Penn Warren is actually go to tell me Robert Penn Warren is actually a nucletic or formalism. Which one? Robert Penn Warren we have done in the classroom session as well. Norman Holland, Wolfgang Iyer, Rolla Barth, they are all reader response critic. And who is known as social reader response critic? It was Stanley Fish. It was Stanley Fish. Stanley Fish, who is also known as social reader response critic. Okay. Now, who is not reader response critic? It is Robert Penn Warren. Sure. Next question, 16. Question number 16 is on screen. And Robert Penn Warren is actually nucletic. Okay. Robert Penn Warren, who has written the book called Understanding Poetry with Clean Books. Okay, because Robert Penn Warren is actually a new critic. I told you, the new critic. Why again and again this kind of process? So Robert Penn Warren is actually a new critic, and he has written the book called Understanding Poetry in collaboration with Clint Brooks. In which book did Clint Brooks give the idea of heresy of paraphrase? Language of Paradox, Understanding Poetry. Okay, this one, Understanding Poetry, was written in collaboration with Robert Penn Warren. Modern Poetry in the Tradition, the Well-Rounded Studies in the Structure. In which work? Now tell me, name the book where classroom students, we have also completed this as well. Clint Brooks have given the idea of heresy of paraphrase. Heresy means what? Heresy means error. Heresy means error. When you are making a paraphrase, we are destroying the actual meaning. The actual meaning is lost. We are not getting the actual meaning. This is a kind of error. An error when you are making paraphrasing, okay, the actual meaning of the author is lost. That's why it is an error. And this work was given by this concept was given by Clint Brooks. Excellent. Surita and Guru. It's the whale rod on is the right answer by Clint Brooks. And the title has been taken from which work? The title has been taken from the famous work of John Donne, that is the canonization. And the canonization begins with the famous line, for God's sake, hold your tongue and let me laugh. 17 is the right answer. And John Donne had fled with a girl where he used to work, and in John Donne is actually had eloped with a girl, with her girlfriend actually, where he used to work under with the boss's daughter, and that's why he's saying, for God's sake, hold your tongue and let me laugh. Everybody used to criticize. Dryden's submitted a personal satire which aimed at James, Charles I, Salisbury, and Tories. Exactly. Exactly. Excellent. Excellent. Anindita, Priyanka, Sucharita. It's R of Shaftesbury. Now you tell me, axillum and acetophyll is another word by Dryden. So axillum is actually represented Duke of Monmouth, and acetophyll is actually Earl of Shaftesbury. Here again, a medal is also is actually a personal satire that is aimed at Earl of Shaftesbury. C is the, everybody right here. Excellent. C is the right answer. Absalom, Duke of Monmouth. Achitophel is the Earl of Shaftesbury. Here the medal is also is actually a personal term on Earl of Shaftesbury. Okay, and this is how you can connect everyone and can remember these complex things actually. So connect one text with another text and think it. Then you'll be able to understand or remember the information for a long time. John Masefield, in one of the poems below, has symbolized one civilization in one verse. Which poem is it? Even we have done it earlier. One civilization in one verse. Duty, cargoes, consecration, her heart. We have done this question earlier as well. You should answer it correctly. It is the famous poem by John Masefield, each cargoes. Okay, here B is the right answer. Shall next question. Name Dryden's poem written in celebration of Charles II's return. Very important questions for CUTPG exam. Name Dryden's poem written in celebration of Charles II's return. Sorry. It's not miraculous. It's astral redux. First one. Dryden's astral redux is actually a work that was written to celebrate the return of Charles II. Here, it is A is the right answer. It's not B. Priyanka, excellent. It's A is the right answer. Who wrote? Is there a text in this class? And here, Urban Iyer, Stanley Fish, they are the reader response critic. Is there a text in this class? Earlier we have also done this question. Do like the session, share with your friends, and let the channel spread. Those who have not joined the Telegram channel, do join the Telegram channel, that is Santu Sahu UGC NET. Exactly. It's Stanley Fish. It's Stanley Fish, who is also known as social reader response critic. It's Stanley Fish has written the famous work essay called "Is There a Text in This Class?" is by B. Everybody right here. It's Stanley Fish is the right answer. Sucho, Rita, are you there? Anushka. So B is the exactly. Got it, Sarita. Exactly. Godot also Stanley Fish. Godot, remember that Stanley Fish is actually also Godot, Anantha, and Sarita, and Priyanka, Subramsu, everyone. Remember that Stanley Fish is actually a reader response critic, but he is also known as social. In a con that is who is known as social response critic. It is Stanley Fish. And it's for UGC NET exam. Crash course has already been launched. You want to join the crash course? You can WhatsApp me. Registration is open. Classes are going on. Stanley Fish's early work was on what author? The social reader response critic Stanley Fish early work was on what author and which author? Shakespeare, Milton, Bronte, Austen. Excellent, Godot. We have done it earlier, isn't it, Godot? We have also done this work earlier. It's Milton, exactly. Hmm. Hmm. Exactly, Subramsu Godot. His early work was on actually Milton, Stanley Fish. Fish explains in his partly biographical essay Milton, thou should be living at this hour. Milton, thou should be living at this hour. Now the video quality is okay. Subramsu Gurut and those who are telling me earlier that a video call is not okay, not it's hazy. Now if I just let me think the word. Here is the next question. What is the name of David Stein's prose poem? So if the settings remain same, so is it now easy to understand or to this? Yeah, I can understand, but the fact is that when I am increasing the resolution, it started buffering because it's a low end PC. That's why. Hmm. Yeah, it's objects. It's a prose poem. Objects exactly. Everybody right here. Anita, Sudurita, Subramshu, everyone. It's objects. Tender button is the work. Okay, okay. Chalo. Then this I will be continuing with this 480. Okay. Then I will be continuing with this 480 because when I am increasing the resolution, it started buffering, facing problem. Okay. That's why. Chalo. So it's a tender button is a work by Jatriston consisting three sections titled Objects, Food and Rooms. The short book consists of multiple poems covering the everyday mundane And Jottenstein's experimental use of language renders the poems unorthodox and their subjects unfamiliar. About Elizabethan poet playwright biographer Charles Lamb commented that he is a 9 parts Machiavel and Tacitus, or one of the Sophocles in Seneca. ये भी करवाए थे पहले फटाफट करो. You have done it earlier. This question. Here, Charles Lamb is talking about the playwright and is commenting that he is 9 parts Machiavel and Tacitus, and for one of Sophocles and Seneca. It is Phil Greville. It's not Ben Jonson. It's actually D. Phil Greville is the D is the answer. It's not A actually. Greville is the right answer. Charles Lamb commented on Greville that he is 9 parts Machiavel and Tacitus, sorry, for one of Sophocles and Seneca. Okay. Who published the volumes of the Earthly Paradise? William Morris, Spencer Stanford, F.S. Ellis, National क्या सेम क्वेश्चन रिपीट कुछ कुछ क्वेश्चन रिपीटेड हो गया चलो. And in the previous session, some of you were able to answer this question actually. And it was probably Sudurita or Anandita. You would answer this earlier. Remember that? Earlier even you have answered this question. Written by William Morris, published by F.S. Ellis. Earthly Paradise is a work by William Morris, but published by here F.S. Ellis. Okay, F.S. Ellis is the right answer. Earthly Paradise by William Morris is an epic poem, lengthy collection of retellings, various myths and legends from the Greece and Scandinavia. Publication began in 1867, later volumes, published by F.S. Ellis. Published by F.S. Ellis. The Earthly Paradise was generally well received by reviewers. According to the one study, established Morris' reputation as one of the foremost poets of his day. The most important thing you must have to remember that it is an epic poem. It is an epic poem. Okay, it's an epic poem, Earthly Paradise by William Morris. And here you see that all of Morris' subsequent books were published as by the author of the Earthly Paradise. Okay, all of Morris' subsequent books are published as by the authors of the Earthly Paradise. Okay. And in the upcoming days, actually, I'll be conducting or making videos from either from Cambridge University, comparing to Cambridge University or Oxford University. I'll be following from that book, and from that book, one by one, I'll be making questions. Okay. Exactly, it's a famous work. Exactly, it's a famous work. It is magnum opus. Who is famous writer with the middle style? Who is famous for middle style? Okay, Samuel Johnson, Ben Johnson, Richard Steele, Joseph Addison. Hmm. Exactly. Excellent. Good. The writer of middle style here is Joseph Addison. Exactly. Joseph Addison is the writer of middle style. Now you tell me from these options, okay, who has coined the term? No, no, no. Who termed it? Now tell me. Okay, termed it. Got it. Got it. Got it, Subhranshu. Got it. Yes, Samuel Johnson, who has made this remark that Joseph Addison writes in middle style. It was termed by Dr. Samuel Johnson. Dr. Samuel Johnson. Hmm. Got it, Subhranshu. Excellent. What is Max Morden trying to reconcile himself in the novel The Sea? It's a novel by John Benville. It's a 2005 Booker Prize winning novel. 2005 Booker Prize winning novel. What is the character here? Max Morden trying to reconcile himself in the novel The Sea. It's by John Benville, a novel by John Benville. Got the Booker Prize in the year 2005. He is a historian. He is an art historian. Priyanka, are you there? Priyanka, Priyanka, Subhranshu, Godot. The right answer is actually he's reconciling the dates of his loved ones and loved ones as a child and adult. The dates of his loved ones as a child and adult. C. A 2005 novel by John Benville. His starting novel. The story is told by Max Morden, a self-aware retired art historian attempting to reconcile himself to the deaths of those he loved as a child and as an adult. Got it? Remember, The Sea is actually a novel. Okay, now tell me who has written the poem called The Sea? The poem The Sea, any idea? Even his name is also started with J. What is the central theme explored in the novel? In the Skin of a Lion. The Sea is a poem by, I think it is a poem by John Masefield. No, James Reeves, sorry. James Reeves. Yeah, जेम्स रीव्स Reeves से ही होगा हाँ Let me check it. Subramsu, just check the Subramsu, check the poem The Sea was written by whom? I think it's James Reeves. She is compared the hungry dog. Jadavpur University merit list out. We have to see whether. Exactly. Hmm. Exactly. What is the central theme? Here, this novel is actually, remember, Subramanian, this is a famous work. This is a famous work by Michael Ondaatje, the Sri Lankan diaspora writer. क्या है? श्रीलंकन diaspora writer. Okay, Sri Lankan diaspora writer is Michael Ondaatje, and he has written the famous work In the Skin of a Lion, the rise of mainstream society in Toronto. So that's why Sri Lankan diaspora, that is the experiences of immigrants in Canada. The English patient in the skin of lion, famous two works of Michael Ondaatje. The experience of immigrants in Canada in the skin of a lion. In the Skin of a Lion is a novel by the Canadian Sri Lankan writer Michael Ondaatje. And here, the novel is fictionalizing the lives of the immigrants who played a large role in the building of the city of Toronto in the early 90s. Ondaatje illuminates the investment of these settlers in Canada through their labor while they remain outsiders to the mainstream society. The Skin of Lion is thus an expose of the migrant condition. Expose of the migrant condition. It is a novel about the wearing and the removal of masks, the shedding of skins, and the transformations and the translations of identity. Very, very important line. Who is the author of the novel Rabbit is Rich? Rabbit is Rich. Very important. American writer. American writer. Rabbit is Rich. Rabbit's Rich. It's a part of tetralogy. It's a part of tetralogy. It's a part of tetralogy. American writer, novelist here. Rabbit is Rich. John Grisham, John Steinbeck, John Updike, John Irving. It's Updike, John Updike, and Booker Prize winning novel. Booker Prize winning novel. That's why very important. Rabbit is Rich. This is the third novel probably of that series by John Updike. Rabbit is Rich. The 1981 novel by John Updike. It is the third novel of the tetralogy that begins with Rabbit Run, continues with Rabbit Redux, and it concludes with Rabbit at Rest. There is, yeah, John Updike. I thought that Priyanka you left. So when I asked you, Priyanka, are you there? So why have you answered? There is also a related novel, Rabbit Remember. Remember, rabbit से बहुत सारा जो है, that is John Updike. Rabbit Run, Rabbit Redux, Rabbit is rich, rabbit at rest, tetralogy. And even he has also written Rabbit Remember, the novella. Rabbit is rich. इनमें से कौन सा was awarded Pulitzer Prize? Sorry, I am telling you, I told Booker Prize. No, it's Booker Prize. It's Pulitzer Prize. In America, it is Pulitzer Prize. Sorry, I'm actually sorry. So probably I had in the earlier in few minutes ago I told probably Booker Prize, na? Few seconds ago actually. It is not Booker Prize. It is Pulitzer Prize. Okay. Pulitzer Prize for fiction, Pulitzer Prize for poetry is given for the address of America. So Rabbit is Rich was awarded with the Pulitzer Prize for fiction and the National Book Award for fiction. Okay, Rabbit is rich. This one. An ideal husband and a women of no importance are the romances, tragedies, comedies, and satires. Just a minute, okay. Wait. An ideal husband and a women of no importance. These are. Did you answer? These are actually satires. Okay, these are satires. And who has written? An ideal husband and women of no importance. These are all work by Oscar Wilde. And criticizing satires on upper class. They are all satires. So, who wrote his famous work for UGC NET exam? Yeah, D. You are right actually. Who wrote in his autobiographical memoir called A Sort of Lie? Very, very important question. A Sort of Lie, stating that success is only a delayed failure. Very, very important questions. Godot, are you there? Godot? Very, very famous work. And in that work, he is saying that success is only a delayed failure. Evelyn Buck, John Osborne, Graham Greene, Elizabeth Buck. Excellent, Priyanka. It's Graham Greene, A Sort of Life memoir, autobiographical memoir by Graham Greene. Graham Greene is the Chalo. A Sort of Lie is the first volume of autobiography by British novelist Graham Greene. First published in 1971. Autobiographical memoir by Graham Greene. Now, why happening like this? I can't understand. Name Muriel Sparks' autobiography. Doctors of Philosophy, Curriculum Vitae, Memento Mori, The Takeover. Which one is the autobiography of Muriel Sparks? To make this kind of questions, okay, it takes much time actually. These are lesser known works, but very important. But very important for the UGC NET exam and WBCET exam as well. Very important writer. Yeah, CV, curriculum vitae. Exactly, exactly. It's a Muriel Sparks autobiography. It's Memento Mori is a famous work by go to remember that Muriel Sparks Memento Mori is actually a famous work, but the autobiography is actually curriculum vitae. Because why happening like this, I can't understand. So curriculum vitae is the correct answer. Muriel Sparks autobiography curriculum vitae was published in 1992. She has also written The Informed Heir, published in 14. It was a posthumous collection of some of her non-fiction as well. The Informed Heir is a posthumous collection of her non-fiction. And also Muriel Sparks was made Dame Commander of the British Empire in 1993. Hmm. Pen tap. Who is the protagonist in John Osborne's? No, there is no key actually touched by me actually. No, no, it's not about keys and switch actually. When I'm trying to put pressure, okay, on the pen tap with the stylus pen. Who is the protagonist in John Osborne's Look Back in Anger? Luther, Murphy, Martin. Very easy question. फटाफट बोलो. And Look Back in Anger, that is also known as A Kitchen Scene Drama by John Osborne, 1950s. Jimmy Potter. Working middle class, isn't it? Exactly, it's kitchen sink drama. First performed in 1956. First performed in 1956. It's Jimmy is the answer. Realist play. Remember, realist play focuses on the life and the mental struggles of an intelligent and educated but disaffected young man of working class origin, Jimmy Potter. And I have read this work in my first year. Yeah, during my first year. Hmm. And he's equally competent yet impassive upper middle class wife, Alison. In the Calcutta University syllabus, there in the first year we had Luke Begenanger. Which of the following novels is set on the ship Piquet. Very important. And the subtitle is a well. Captain Ahab. The name of the sea was Pequod. It's Moby Dick. It's Moby Dick is the right answer. This novel by Herman Melville set on this individual ship called Pequod. Name of the sea was Pequod. Moby Dick, sorry. It's Moby Dick is the right answer. Herman Melville. Dark romantic writer. Pequod is a fictional 19th century Nantucket whaling ship that appears in 1851 novel Moby Dick by the American author Herman Melville. Whitman's poem When Lilacs Last in the Doriad Bloom laments on the death of whom? And Walt Whitman, who is also known as the father of three verse of American poetry, and Whitman's famous poem is the voice of the rain, where the voice of the rain, where in the very beginning of the poem, yeah, in the very beginning of the poem, the poet is asking questions to the rain, the drops was the shower of the rain, and the rain surprisingly answering back to the poet Walt Whitman. Abraham Lincoln is the Turn of the Screw by Henry James is a ghost story, detective story, comic story, love story. Henry James. Supporting. It's a ghost story. The Turn of the Screw is a novel by Henry James, and it's a ghost story actually. Horror story. It's a horror novel by Henry James. The Turn of the Screw is considered a work both gothic and horror fiction. It's following the governess who, caring for two children at a remote estate, becomes convinced that the grounds are haunted. What is the main distinction between high culture and low culture? What is the main distinction between high culture and low culture? There is a work called The Palace of Art by Nandlal Bose, probably in the class 11 of West Bengal, where yeah, the Palace of Art like something. In that book, he is talking about the culture. It's Nandlal Bose. Yeah, it's B actually. It's B actually. Everybody right actually. High culture is associated with the educated elites, while low culture is accessible to the masses. Palace of Art, yeah, I don't know. But it was Nandlal Bose. Check. What is the primary focus of cultural studies? I'll be ending the session with this question actually. I'm literally very tired today. What will be doing tomorrow again? Here again it's B. Here again it's B. Okay. Cultural studies is actually trying to analyzing the systems of operations and resistance in culture. B is the right. I'll be ending the session. Today's session will be ended. How are you all? Sucharita, Anandita, Godod, and everyone. Let's end the session here. Good night, everyone, and God bless everyone. Okay, good night, everyone. Okay, and for those who want to take the subscription, registration open for the crash course batch. UGC NET December 2023. The tweet is out, the notification is out to join and qualify UGC NET. We'll be providing quality notes, classes, MCQs, and everything will be covered. Okay, see you tomorrow again. Hmm? See you tomorrow again. Hmm. So I'm ending the session here. Okay, I'm ending the session here. Everyone, stay happy.